Ladies and gentle people, we are back with another edition of Just My Thoughts. And this episode is brought to you by me. We don't have any sponsorships yet, but if anybody out there would like to be the first, our offices are always open. I'm just saying. Anywho, we're living in one of the greatest times in human history. A time where most people have access to a wealth of information that was once sacred right at their fingertips. You don't have to leave your house to start a business, grow a following on social media. Hell, you can even shoot, edit, and release your own movies from these little pocket computers that we all carry around if you wanted to. The internet has allowed this generation to do things that were once unheard of in the past for regular folks and the little guys. Never before have we seen more entrepreneurs kickstart small businesses, podcasters, and independent artists who are able to make a living without having to sign a major deal, or even those so-called nobodies who become somebodies simply by pressing record and showcasing their talents online. But on the other side of that, you have to be able to navigate through a lot of noise, distractions, and comparisons to other people. As a creator myself, I'll always be on the side of people taking advantage of these tools that they have that give them an edge. But with every pro comes a con. And I've noticed more and more that a lot of this ease of access has actually caused people to simply think too big. Now let me explain what I mean. I'll admit that I've been that person before. Someone who has big dreams, big goals. You become so hyper-focused on what the finish line looks like that you tend to overlook and undermine those steps that it takes to actually get there. You simply want too much too soon. The best and worst part about the entrepreneurship we see online is that it creates an illusion to most people that success can happen overnight. Apps like Instagram and TikTok give this perception that there isn't tons of work that goes into building whatever dream that you have. We tend to discredit that idea of starting small and then accomplishing the goal and another goal and another goal before we get on to the next one. Don't get me wrong. There's always going to be someone who wins a lottery, but the statistical odds of it happening to you are extremely low. The rest of us have to put the work in and then make things happen. And there's no shame in that. The destination is never as sweet as the journey that it takes to get there anyways. And if you don't have the patience, the discipline, or the desire to see it through, the finish line and that bigger goal that you have will always just be a fantasy that you'll never reach. You'll see and hear countless gurus tell you to shape your attention on this bigger picture, but that doesn't always generate a successful outcome. Those smaller steps are often overlooked as people will try and find the easy way to get it done. But if you ask anyone who's truly successful, they will tell you there is no easy way. There may be more efficient ways than others, but that person who sells you the idea of easy will also try and sell you a bridge on Mars. I gotta give credit to Will Smith for one of the best quotes that come to mind when trying to explain this concept to people. He tells a story of when his father made him build a wall over a period of time, and how that lesson taught him you don't set out to build a wall. You start by laying the bricks in the best way possible until you have a wall completed. And that led me to a conversation that I had with someone that was actually very eye-opening to me. It was an epiphany that I had that led me to making this video. Almost like holding a mirror up to a mindset that I used to have. They're extremely talented and they have this grandiose vision that they've convinced themselves if they don't have $1 million budget, they won't be able to make it happen. That's where I stepped in and intervened, reminding them that you have to start small. You have to use what you have available to you at the moment. If you can't do it with $100, then you sure as hell can't do it with $1 million. It takes time and it takes repetitious work to get that million and then be able to utilize it properly. In a similar way that you've seen lottery winners going broke, it's because they don't have the discipline or proper exposure to that amount of money, so they don't really know what to do with it. There have been plenty of hit songs recorded in a bedroom, classic movies that have been made with low budgets, and even stars who've had careers created because they just talk to their phones. The bigger picture isn't always too big, but sometimes the goals aren't small enough for us to complete, and that was the entire point that I was making. Patience isn't only a virtue, but it's also character building. So it's very rare that you meet people who are professionals or are deemed successful in their field that haven't spent 10 years or maybe even longer doing that very thing that they're good at. I mean, sure, if you want it easier, you could cut in line and find a way to get there faster. But there is a reason you don't see most one-hit wonders stick around long enough for another hit. The path they've taken isn't nearly as sustainable. I'm no expert by any means, but I've had plenty of experiences in succeeding and failing at many things in life. And they've taught me a very valuable lesson in earned success. Once you decide what the outcome is that you want, you set a goal, accomplish it, then you move on to the next one until voila. you've reached Valhalla. Discipline tends to work a lot better than motivation, and that's the tool you'll need more than any fancy equipment or overblown budget to get things done. So in the end, it's the small puzzle pieces that fit together to give you a bigger picture. Let me know what you think. These are just my thoughts.